Hey everybody, welcome back to James Draws Everything. Continuing today, drawing every country in the world's flag, and we're getting closer, finishing up the Middle East, or getting close to it, and we're going to be doing the state of Oman. Oh man, Oman. Oh man, yes, Oman. Probably the Arab state that I know the least about. I know rich oil country, and that's about it. I don't really know too much else about this place, but we're gonna figure it out. All right, so it does have a very similar flag to kind of what you're used to seeing from these Arab countries. Although, of course, with a little bit of some minor differences. The name Oman, the origins are shrouded in mystery, right? Not really known. Apparently, it dates back at least 2,000 years since there's an Omana that's mentioned by Pliny the Elder in the 1st century, and an Omanan by Ptolemy, not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, in the 2nd century AD. And they are pretty close with the British, but they were never a colony. Their independence is considered to be in 1650. So they've kind of been a sultanate for a very long time, kind of on their own. And that's when apparently they expelled the Portuguese from that region. So don't really think of the Portuguese really when you think of the Middle East, but they were in Oman. And it was a kind of like a hot spot for trade in the Indian Ocean. And then the modern day sort of friendship with Great Britain sort of starts in the late 18th century. The Sultanate in Muscat, they signed the first in a series of treaties with Britain, right? So at that time in history, oil is discovered here, and Great Britain does a lot of the legwork as far as developing that infrastructure, right? Because oil is going to play a very important role in the British economy. So while never becoming like a colony of the British, they were kind of like a client state. And then in 1970, Qaboos bin Said Al Said overthrew his father, and then he ruled as the Sultan of Oman for the next 5 decades. Greatly modernized the country. So modernization and like a traditional Arab culture. It's always been kind of like a bit of a struggle, kind of a hot spot, a hot topic in the Middle East. And Oman, it's kind of one of those Arab countries that sort of place things close to the vest. They usually remain neutral whenever something is going on in the Middle East. Oman kind of just stays out of it. Right, but they do, of course, again have fairly friendly ties with the West, just due to that long-standing mutual assistance agreement that they've had with Britain. Then in 2011, the Arab Spring pops off. So you see a lot of, kind of liberal movements, anti-monarchy sort of movements, probably egged on by outside influence, but that is just my opinion. So Oman was no exception to this. There was, protests calling for, expanding the middle class with, jobs, economic benefits, things like that. It did lead to some reforms. So they granted, their legislature more power, some more direct elections for its Congress, and some more social welfare programs. So more, public sector jobs, and coexisting with the private sector. And they held those elections in 2012. In 2020, their monarch, Qaboos, died, and then the cousin was sworn in as the Sultan the same day. So this one is this one's a little tricky. So you kind of got a very, very intricate pattern here in white. So I think what I'm going to do is just sort of outline it in red and then kind of go over what I need to. Yeah, so if you ever look at really ornate weapons, like old swords, things like that, this flag kind of has patterns like that on it. So making my job a lot harder. So, oh man, Oman. But we'll manage, right? We've done them all so far. But yeah, just the white on the red. It's a little bit difficult, but okay, I think that works. So then I'm just gonna kind of go around it, and then we'll hit it with the fat side, or the fatter marker. We'll call it a day. Alright, so let's see, almost done here. Just get some more reds. I'm probably gonna need a new red pretty soon here. I think, let's see, is red? Yep, red is on every flag on this page so far. And when I'm done, I'll bet dollars to donuts here that red is probably the color that's used the most on all these flags. Again, that's just my guess, based on how weak my red marker seems to be getting. Yeah, so Oman kind of like a neutral player, right? So it is one of those places, right? Whenever something happens, like with Israel or the Saudis, I never really hear about Oman, and I guess I learned something today. So that's why they play it relatively neutral in Arab affairs. So that is Oman. I'll just write that in there. Flag looks pretty similar, right? There's no black in it though, so not like that Yemen flag, but it does kind of have similar colors to a lot of the Arab flags. And what does the flag mean, James? So you've got the white, red, green, and then on the hoist side, that's the national emblem. It's a Khanjar dagger in its sheath, imposed on 2 crossed swords in scabbards. And the white represents peace and prosperity. The red, you know what that means, battles against foreign invaders, right? So always kind of an independent place. And then the green is the Jebel al-Akhdar, the Green Mountains, and fertility. All right, so that is the flag of Oman. I think we got one more in the Middle East. I know we still got to do Iraq, and then I think we're done. But yeah, let me know what you think. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.